Welcome to day 2 of beginner's yoga. Today we will focus on strengthening flow, but we'll also incorporate quite a few twists. So this is definitely a flow that will make you feel enlivened and will work on your strength and really on your sense of balance as well. We will start lying down on our back, so you can come to lie down on your mat. If you have blocks at home, find a couple of blocks or something that you can use under your hand to support you in the balances. So just lie down in a comfortable shape on your mat. Just soften the face. Starting to deepen the breath. So relax all the muscles in the forehead, the jaw. Allow yourself to settle into this moment, noticing any sounds around you in the background. Perhaps you can hear the sound of birdsong in the background on the video. And just remember, nothing else is more important than your time now, connecting to yourself. So engaging your ujjayi, oceanic breath now. In through the nose, out through the nose. Perhaps a few cleansing breaths out through the mouth. Just letting go of any stresses and allowing your breath to be the anchor to keep you present and aware in this moment, practicing yoga together. And I wanted to introduce you to the idea of ahimsa in yoga. So most of what we know about yoga comes from an Indian sage who lived thousands of years ago, and he wrote the Patanjali, well, his name was Patanjali, and he wrote the Yoga Sutras. And in here he talks about an eightfold path of yoga, or eightfold limbs of yoga. And the first limb in it is contained the yamas, and there's 5 yamas, and they're sort of moral observances. And the first one of these is ahimsa, and this is literally translated to non-violence. And it's really all about kindness. So if you like, loving your neighbour as yourself. So in our yoga practice, this means respecting our body's boundaries, limits, finding that balance between effort and ease. And then emotionally and mentally, it means really, how do we talk to ourselves? Can we be kinder to ourselves? And then when we look after ourselves and we're kind to ourselves, nourishing ourselves with how we talk to ourselves, what we put into our bodies, then we can extend compassion out. So I always see ahimsa like a ripple effect. If we look after ourselves and love ourselves, then we can be a good human and look after everyone else we come into contact. We can be a light for others. So perhaps just thinking about this idea today as we flow, noticing how you can be kinder to yourself. Perhaps even thinking about practical ways that you could incorporate some things this week that will introduce more balance into your life so you can feel nourished. It could be a simple thing, just to decide that you're going to make lunch for yourself 2 days a week, take it into work, a fresh salad perhaps. Or perhaps instead of coming straight home on the train after work, you're going to take a walk in a beautiful park, give yourself some space. Usually the simplest things that don't take too much time are the ones that we can stick to. So when you're ready, let's start to move the body. So we're just going to start with a stretch. So you can reach up through the arms and through the toes, big stretch out. And then relax the body down, sink the shoulders into the mat. Sink the hips down. Big inhale through the nose. and out the mouth. And again, big inhale. And exhale. Good. From here, walking the feet back. And we're just going to bring the knees to the right, finding a supine twist, the first of our twists today. Just looking over the left shoulder, allowing that left shoulder to sink down to the mat. Maybe bring the right hand onto the outer left thigh just to intensify the stretch, or maybe that might feel too much. Just finding a sense of ease in your twist and staying with the breath. And then when you're ready, we'll just come back, switching sides, finding a twist the other way. Good, and we'll come back to centre now. And we're just going to get straight into a little bit of core work just to get the energy moving. So you can bring the knees above the hips. So the knees are completely over the hips here. And when you're ready, you're going to bring the hands behind the head. See if you can really press navel to spine. So your lower back's connected to the mat here. And then when you're ready, let's inhale, squeeze and lift up. And exhale, twist to the right, hover the left leg. Inhale, squeeze and lift back to centre. Exhale, twist to the left, hover the right leg. Inhale, squeeze and lift, curl up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, squeeze and lift. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back. Exhale, release the head back down. We're just going to do a little bit more core work. Bring the knees back over the hips. Press the belly down so you can feel the core really connected here even before we do any exercises. We're already exercising, just holding this position. And then when you're ready from here, bring the arms out to the side so the upper back is relaxed. Inhale, exhale, extend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale, 6. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 8. Inhale, 9. Exhale, 10. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Got my numbers muddled up there, you may have noticed. And then we'll come back. Let's bring the hands towards the heels, or wherever it feels right for you to just come up into a little bridge. You can squeeze and lift the hips up. You can bring the hands interlinked underneath you, or just snuggle the shoulders together underneath you here. Keep drawing the tailbone forward. Notice how my knees are in line with the hips. So I'm really working the lower back, and just breathe into the chest. You can imagine light pouring in from the sunshine above you, pouring into the heart space as you lift up and receive this energy coming into you. Good, and then we'll lower back down very gently. So this one is quite a strong one for the back. You can just windshield wiper the legs, the feet to the edges of the mat, just windshield wiper the legs, just to ease the lower back. Get rid of any niggles, and then we're going to bring the hands onto the knees again. This is a really nice one, just circling the knees, just massaging the lower back. And in the other direction. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll just come up to a seat. You can roll on your spine a few times, or just come to one side and come up that way. And we'll just come all the way up. And you can come now into hands and knees. If you have socks on, just taking them off now, making any adjustments to clothing how you need to before we get started. So we're going to come into a tabletop position. So hands and knees. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Find that neutral spine, so you're sort of drawing navel up slightly. Inhale, draw up the belly, shine the heart forward. And exhale, push into the hands, round and contract. Inhale, forward. Exhale to round, really puff up between the shoulders, hug the belly in. Inhale, forward. Exhale to round. Inhale, center. Exhale. Good. Making your way into downward dog. I'm here to guide you with the breath. If the rhythm that I'm setting doesn't make sense for you, just find your own rhythm. The breath should feel relaxing and calming. So yes, it's intentional, but it shouldn't feel stressful. And if my rhythm doesn't suit you, yours, just find your own. I'm only here to guide and try and support you. So always synchronizing the breath with the movement in a way that makes sense to you. And just draw the chest towards the thighs here. Press into the hands. Let's take 2 cleansing breaths here. On the exhale, releasing anything that no longer serves you, any stresses, any worries, letting it go. Big inhale through the nose, out the mouth, and again, inhale, exhale. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and exhale, make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, palms to the heart. So from here, we're going to just bring the hands onto the heart space, one over the other, and just connect to your breath here. How can you incorporate kindness and balance into your life this week? What are you going to do to support yourself? Good. Part of yoga is being aware. This element, or huge element, of self-inquiry. It's called svadhyaya in Sanskrit. So it entails just checking in all the time with how you're doing, seeing your life as a work in progress. So you can lead a more fulfilling, more nourishing life. And so we can experience that sense of union, a connectedness to ourselves, but also to our fellow human beings, extending compassion and love outwards. But it has to start with yourself. So when you're ready, you can bring the arms beside you, roll the shoulders back. The feet are together or hip width. Find that strong mountain pose. This is your Tadasana or Samastitihi, equal standing. So from here, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, back to plank. Let's bring the right foot first, then the left foot. You can also come back to table if plank doesn't work in your body, or just find plank with the knees down. Here, I want you to really draw the belly up, lift the navel to the spine, scoop the tailbone under and reach the crown of the head forward. When you're ready, just inhale, shift slightly forward, and exhale down. You can just go knees, chest, forehead, or in one line coming down to the mat. And bringing hands underneath the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back. We'll take 3 baby cobras, Bhujangasana here. When you're ready, inhale, peel and lift the chest up, tucking elbows to waist. Exhale down. Inhale again, lifting up. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Inhale, press back to plank or table. And exhale back to downward dog. Maybe paddling out the legs, bending and straightening the legs here. Good. And when you're ready, we're going to pick up the right leg and just open up that right hip. Big stretch. Just drawing that right knee back. Keep pressing the chest back towards the standing leg. And then inhale, send that leg back. And exhale, step to the top of the mat. Stepping all the way to the top of the mat. And we'll come up into a high lunge, maybe walking the hands up the legs if you need to. Perhaps bringing hands onto the hips. So both feet pointing forward, back foot is flexed, pointing forward. And then we're going to bring the arms up. Relax the shoulders here. And then make sure that your feet are wide enough apart on the mat, so they're kind of on train tracks, so you can find a twist here. We're going to inhale, and then exhale, twist open to the right, breathe here. So if you're really wobbling, just bring the feet a little wider on the train tracks, find your balance, and keep stretching here, reaching the fingertips apart from each other. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release the hands down, adjust the feet if you need to, and the hands, planting the left hand, reach the right arm up. Big stretch, draw that right hip back. One more inhale. Exhale, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring the arms beside you, and we'll find a flow back to downward dog again. You can always skip these. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale to dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back. This time the left foot comes first into your plank. And let's inhale, shift forward. Exhale to lower in your way. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog, passing through table or plank. Good. And when you're ready, let's inhale, lift up the left leg this time. Open up the left hip. Inhale. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Making your way up into high lunge again. Sinking the hips down, shoulders directly over the hips. Good, let's inhale. Exhale, twist open to the left, and again, just breathe here and hold it. As you stretch the fingertips away from each other. And when you're ready, let's inhale back to center. Exhale it again, finding your twist. So twists are really wonderful for the health of the spine. They're great for helping support detoxification in our bodies. And they're wonderful for just shifting energy, shifting perspective, re-energizing the whole body and mind. Good. Let's bring the hand down. Take an inhale here. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, palms to the heart. Good. So let's flow back again to our downward dog. So finding your steady, grounded Tadasana pose, mountain pose. tucking the chin slightly and finding that length. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right leg first into plank. Inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. And again. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, stepping to the top of the mat. Finding your high lunge. Good. And again, we'll just slow this down. So inhale here. Exhale, open twist to the right. Good. Keep reaching the hands away from each other really dynamically, stretching, and then bringing the hand either onto the lower back and just lifting the left arm up for your exalted lunge. The right hand could also be down the back leg. Just looking at the ground just behind the shoulder. Good. When you're ready, just coming back to center. And from here, we're going to bring the hands to the heart and just see about dropping the back knee down here. And just checking the front foot is underneath the knee. Then we're going to start to lean forward and twist to the right. Hooking the elbow outside and keep working the palms towards the center of the chest. And breathe here. Keep the neck relaxed. Keep pressing into the arm with the knee. One more inhale. Exhale, you can bring the hands back. Good, and we're just going to lift back up into high lunge. If you've got a block, you can find one here. If you haven't got a block, you can maybe find a water bottle or something that you can rest your hand on. We're going to find our half moon pose. So I like to teach this and call it a falling leaf. So it just takes all the pressure off and makes it fun and playful, just focusing on our sense of balance, which comes from the core. So you can just bring the weight onto, I'll show you the end position, or myself, I'm working towards the end position. So I'll show you a version, which is close to what it should look like. So peeling the left hip open and reaching down, reaching up, maybe hand onto the block. But to start, maybe you can just play with the balance, bending a little bit into the standing leg, and just coming in and out a couple of times, just playing a little with the posture. And release, good. Just bringing the hands down to the top of the mat. We're going to step to the top of the mat, but bring the left foot outside the right. So your left foot steps outside the right foot, and then the hands can also be on blocks here. We're just going to peel the fingertips around to the right, just finding a nice stretch on the left IT band. Head and neck relax here. Good, and then we'll come back to center, and you can bring the 2 feet together, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms rise. Oops. Exhale, palms to the heart. Then we'll flow back to the other side, so you can bring the feet together or the feet hip width apart. Ground through the feet. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank, left foot first. Shifting the weight forward, lowering down. Cobra or Bhujangasana. And back to downward dog. Good, so this time You're going to bring the left foot, so inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Making your way up, high lunge. Settling into the pose, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale here. And exhale, open twist to the left. Keep breathing here in your twist. And we can find our exalted lunge with the left hand onto the lower back or onto the back leg. And let's come back to centre. And just drop the back leg down, bring the hands to the heart, finding our prayer twist to the left, hooking the elbow outside the knee, palms towards the middle of the chest, pressing the palms in and just using that knee to create traction to keep bringing the hands towards the middle of the chest. Relax the left shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, pressing back up. Making your way back up. And we'll find our Ardha Chandrasana the other side. So you can bring that left foot about 45 degrees. And just play with your Ardha Chandrasana. If you have got a block at home, it might feel really nice just to bring one hand onto the block. And then perhaps to lift up from the block. But no need to go too far if you're just learning this posture. You could just stay really quite high up in the posture, just engaging with the core and engaging with that reach down through the bottom hand, reach up through the top hand, and reach through the back foot and reach forward through the crown of the head energy. And releasing. You can bring the hands down to the top of the mat, step the right foot to come outside the edge of the left foot this time, and let's curl the hands round to the left. Head and neck relax, you can shake them out if you want to. And let's come back to centre. You can bring the hands to the top of the mat and just find a yogi squat malasana. Feet can be flexed or flat here. Hands to the heart. And here just relax the face, relax the pelvic floor. You can imagine all the soft tissues of the pelvic floor just relaxing and lengthening here. The lower back muscles, the sacrum stretching out. Everything relaxed, steady. And just connect here to the ground beneath you. And at the same time lift up through the midline of the body, through the crown of the head. And can you just connect with your pelvic floor here? So just squeezing and lifting up the pelvic floor. And relaxing it again. Linking that with the breath. So inhale, relax the pelvic floor. And exhale, squeeze and hold the pelvic floor up. Inhale, relaxing. Exhale to squeeze and lift up. One more like this. Inhale to relax. Exhale to squeeze and lift up. Good. and release. Well done. So from here, we'll just come down to a seat, and you can find a forward fold, so it may not be too far. First of all, just grounding through the sit bones as much as you can. So you're sort of aiming for an anterior tilt of the pelvis here, nice flat back, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're just going to fold over the legs. Inhale here, exhale to fold forward. And don't worry about how far you're folding. For me, it's not very far at all. It's very early for me in the morning. And if you've got tight hamstrings like I have from running or too much sitting, it's going to hold you back in this one. So just relax where you are, not overdoing it. This is head to knee, Paschimottanasana. And we'll come back up, and you can just make your way down onto your mat now. Just rolling down onto your mat. And we'll finish with happy baby pose. So you can bring the 2-piece fingers around the big toes or onto the outer edges of the feet or the ankles, really wherever you can reach. And pull the feet out and wide. So you get a big stretch in the back of the legs. And the lower back is connected to the mat here. Maybe you can have a little rock here from side to side. And whenever you're ready, just winding your way into your Shavasana, bringing the feet hip width or wider, feet pull open to the sides. Allow yourself to settle into the mat. Letting go of all control of the body, the breath, the mind. Just breathing relaxation from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head, and everything in between. This is your precious time, so really make the most of this last few moments to be still. And when you're ready, it's time to Come back. So you can circle the ankles and wrists if that feels good for you. Just deepen and lengthen the breath. Maybe a stretch out with the fingers and toes. And then just bringing the feet back in, rolling onto your right side. Just lying in a fetal-like shape here. Just for a few more breaths. And then when you're ready, you can use your outer hand to press up, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft for now. Just coming to a seat. And you can perhaps bring your hands back onto the upper chest, one over the other. Just coming back to ahimsa, this concept of kindness. Taking a moment to honour yourself and the amazing journey that you're on. And let's bring our hands together in prayer. Namaste. Thank you very much for practicing with me. I really hope you enjoyed that flow. I'll be releasing the next one in a week or two. And yeah, hopefully see you soon. Have a wonderful day or evening, depending on when you're practicing this.